Hi everyone, my name is Ella, and being a good kid ruined my life. Okay, thoda dramatic, I know. Like, मेरे को भी views चाहिए, like I have to do. But what I mean is that I feel like growing up the way that I was raised, and in the culture and the settings that I was in, the definition of being a good kid is really fucked up. Like, kuch bhi, there's this weird expectations around being a good kid that I feel like have messed me up almost permanently, but I am working on it. I did talk about it with a few friends, and it's a very commonly shared experience, and I feel like I want to talk about it. And we're going to talk about different aspects of my childhood and how the definition of being a good kid was influenced by those aspects. Starting with the fact that I grew up in a middle class household, a middle class setting. There's a lot of worth and goodness put in not wanting to spend on luxury, not wanting to spend on leisure, not wanting to spend on fun, which is understandable. I feel like you have to be responsible and compromise according to the funds coming in and out of your household, but eventually somewhere along the line, not wanting to spend on luxury, not wanting to spend on fun turned into not wanting luxury and not wanting fun and feeling like a bad kid for wanting to have fun. Sorry, I live in Uttam Nagar. There's going to be background noise. This is just my life. I love Uttam Nagar. Uttam Nagar hi Rani hu main. It's one thing to, be like a good kid is one who compromises. A good kid is patient. But eventually that turns into a good kid is one that is happy in deprivation. And your goodness is limited to your ability to starve yourself. And that is so, so toxic. Because the thing is, मैं एक अच्छी बच्ची हूँ जिसको कुछ नहीं चाहिए. दैट्स वाई मैं अच्छी बच्ची हूँ क्योंकि ये अच्छी बच्ची है, कुछ नहीं मांगती, इसको कुछ नहीं चाहिए. दैट अच्छी बच्ची turns into a good student who doesn't ask doubts and feels ashamed for needing help with anything at school. That अच्छी बच्ची turns into a good friend who doesn't know how to say no to unreasonable favors, gets walked all over by her friends all the time. That अच्छी बच्ची turns into a good girlfriend who does not know how to ask for her needs, does not know how to set boundaries in a relationship. That achhi bachi turns into a good employee who works way more than what is expected of her, does not know how to ask for her breaks, basically gets exploited every single day. Now, does that mean that you should get everything that you want and you should spend money on the most useless, luxurious, fun things that are gonna, affect you negatively? Absolutely not. It means that it's okay to compromise and it's okay to be patient, but you don't have to be ashamed for wanting more than what you have. You don't have to be ashamed for needing help. You don't have to be ashamed for saying no. You don't have to be ashamed for setting boundaries. Putting your goodness in your ability to be able to deprive and starve yourself is indirectly romanticizing this life of being dissatisfied and unhappy all the time and being ashamed for even minutely wanting to change that. The next aspect that I think about a lot is this greatness in not communicating and not expressing your emotions. It's always, आप रो मत, आप अच्छे बच्चे हो ना, आप गुस्सा मत करो, आप अच्छे बच्चे हो ना. But also, वो अच्छा बच्चा just fell down. And that acha bacha is hurt. And that acha bacha just wants to cry because of pain. That acha bacha is very, very angry. And that acha bacha is going to express their anger. I don't think it should be a measure of goodness to not express your emotions. And listen, I'm not crazy. I know that in all these contexts, the adults around me and around you, they're trying to instill emotional control and emotional maturity into you and how to not let your emotions overpower you. But I feel like somewhere in the delivery and the way that those things are given to us, it brings shame. Again, shame is a very big factor in this. Shame in having emotions and shame in expressing emotions, and that is a problem. I think it's absolutely vital and very, very necessary and a great skill to have emotional control. But suppressing your emotions is a very big problem, and I feel like that is glorified in our culture very, very much. I mean, a lot of us, we see our mothers, in great distress, but when they're asked about it, when our relatives check in on our moms, they say, oh, no, nothing. It's the goodness in being perfect, the goodness in hiding your emotions, the goodness in not communicating when there's a problem is a problem. The next aspect is अच्छे बच्चे बात मानते हैं, अच्छे बच्चे सुनते हैं, with the goodness in listening and obeying, especially your elders, all the time. Should you listen to your elders? Should you obey your elders? 100% sure. You should. But are all adults perfect people with good intentions. No. In not only our culture, it's a very global thing to, make children feel like the adults around you are right all the time and they always want your best interest. But this is real life and that is not true. I took a lot of pride in being a good kid and obeying the adults. I also came across a lot of bad adults, a lot of grown people with bad intentions who I doubted myself at the time, because I have this very strong belief that you being 3 feet taller than me and 20 years older than me makes you right about everything. And so you listen. Putting a lot of worth and goodness in listening and obeying opens doors for exploitation and opens doors for people taking advantage of you. It also turns into putting your self-worth in others, which is a very toxic process and a very hard thing to overcome. Even to this day, it's very hard for me to feel good about myself without having adult validation. Like I feel like I didn't accomplish something until my dad tells me I did. I didn't do the good thing that I did until my mom comes home at the end of the day and acknowledges the fact that it did. You can't predict other people's reaction to you. And putting your worth in something that is entirely unpredictable and inconsistent is very, very dangerous. I think, yes, obey your elders, listen to your adults, listen to the elders around you and, respect them. But also teach children that not all adults are right and not all adults have good intentions. And it's okay to have questions. It's okay to question what an adult is telling you. It's okay to say, okay, I'm gonna do what you're telling me to do, but why? There's a lot of shame in talking back, which in our culture, talking back literally means what it sounds like it means, is literally talking back. Answering is a bad thing. Not arguing, not fighting, not yelling. Literally talking to an adult is a bad thing, which I think is so weird. I don't know why it's so normal. And I think it should be more than okay to question your elders. And if your elders are right, they're gonna be able to explain themselves and their positions. I don't know why kids are shamed for being curious. Now, is the purpose of this video to ask everyone to be bad kids and for us to stop instilling values in our children? Absolutely not. It's just to maybe give it a thought or two and do it differently and question the things that we say and how we say them, because they have lifelong lasting effects that will reflect in every aspect of our adult lives. So instead of putting goodness in being able to deprive and starve yourselves, let's say that a good child focuses on self-preservation. Instead of putting goodness in never talking back, never saying how you feel, never expressing yourself, let's put goodness in curiosity and let's put goodness in wanting to explore and wanting to learn. Instead of putting goodness in acting like everything is okay all the time and being perfect all the time, let's put goodness in actively communicating and actively trying to fix things and actively trying to, heal things and heal the hurt. And most importantly, remember to tell your children that there is goodness in you, not in the people you can please, not in the adults you can obey, not on the marks that you can get, but you as a person, as a living, breathing thing, are good and are enough.